Today I'm going to be comparing the Tassimo T20 brewer with the Keurig MINI brewer. And just a note about this review, it's not a sponsored review. Nobody sent these machines to me and said, hey, could you review them for me? I'm not a professional reviewer or anything like that. I happened to win the Tassimo machine in a blog giveaway somebody had, and somebody else gave us the Keurig as a Christmas gift. So I thought it would be fun just to compare the two machines. So first, let's look at them size-wise. You'll notice that both machines are approximately the same size. In fact, they have almost virtually the same footprint on my counter when they're set up there. The Keurig is a tiny bit taller, and it needs a little more clearance so that you can lift the top to pour your water in. But at the same time, when I fill the Tassimo, I need a little bit of clearance under my cabinets in order to get the water reservoir out. Price-wise, if you look at the Tassimo website or the Keurig website, they're exactly the same price, $99.95 or $99.99. These two particular models are available in my local Walmart, and I think the Keurig sells a little cheaper there for around $80, but the Tassimo is about $100 at the Walmart as well. Okay, both the T20 and the Mini are entry-level machines, meaning they have the least number of features of the Tassimo or the Keurig. The Mini is a single cup machine. It does not have a water reservoir, so you need to put your water in here, in fact, every time you use it. The Tassimo does have a water reservoir. You can get several cups out of here before you need to refill it. Both the Tassimo and the Keurig require proprietary coffee pods. This is what the Tassimo pods look like. They're called tea discs, and they vary a little bit because you can make lattes or cappuccinos with the Tassimo, so that you can also get milk creamer cups. You'll see they're thicker. They vary by size depending on what's in them. This is a regular coffee tea disc. This is a chai tea disc. Chai tea disc. On the other hand, the Keurig uses K-cups, and they look like this. They're also proprietary. I understand that you can also get a little contraption called a My K-cup, which can be refilled with your own coffee, but that has its pluses and minuses as well. So that's what a K-cup looks like. Packaging. K-cups come in a box like this. It's kind of bulky. You got to find a place to keep it. Got to find a place to keep any of these things, really. They do take up a lot of space. The tea discs, I kind of like the packaging on these because when you open a package, it'll have several sleeves in it like this, and so if you get 16 in a package, you'll get two like this that each have 8 in them. Rather than having to keep the whole thing readily accessible, I can put the rest of it away and just keep one sleeve here that's a little more organized. But then again, you know, they've all thought of that. They also have these cool little organizers that you can use to organize your K-cups and tea discs. I understand that Tassimo probably has something similar to this as well. Okay, let's brew a cup in the Keurig machine. First, you lift up the top, and you'll notice in here there are these little discs, and they're indicators to show you how much water you've poured in. The maximum you're supposed to brew at one time in this mini Keurig is 10 ounces. And the easiest way to determine that you've got enough water and you're not going to overflow it is to just fill up your cup with water. Pour it in. Okay. So you can see here that this is like a little over 8 ounces, but probably not quite 10 ounces. Not that that matters too much. Okay, the next step is I need to turn this on. You'll notice if I remembered to turn it on before I poured the water in, it would have had a little indicator here telling me, put some water in. Now it's telling me it's time to put in a K-cup. So the next step is to lift this lever. And when I lift the lever, you can probably hear that the water is traveling down into the brewer. You need to make sure all the water is down in the brewer before you can brew your coffee. I'm going to choose a Caribou Blend cup. Now before I do that, let's take a closer look at the inside of the Keurig. You'll see here, I'm not going to touch it, there's what they describe in the directions of the Keurig as a pin that punctures the K-cup. There's also one up in here, which I can't really show you very... Let me see if I can do this. Oh yeah, actually you can see it pretty well. If you look at it closely, you can see it's not really a pin. It looks more like a metal spike. This is something to be aware of when you're cleaning out your machine. You wouldn't want to impale yourself on a spike, but also if you have a nosy little 2-year-old in your house like I do, who was trying to make herself coffee the other day. Okay, so watch out. So you pop your K-cup in there, close it, it punctures, and of course, now I waited so long that the power has gone off on the thing. That's the other thing, is the Mini will automatically shut off after a certain number of minutes. And the problem is that if it's not on when you puncture the K-cup, it doesn't recognize that it's in there. It's not like it has some special sensor in there that tells it, oh, there's a K-cup ready to brew. Close it, and the little blue light comes on the brew button, hit brew, turns red. There we go. So the Keurig makes coffee, tea, hot chocolate. I think they have a couple of specialty K-cups, like a mocha or something like that, which I haven't gotten because I've never seen them in the store. I think you need to order them online in order to get them. It doesn't make espresso or crema or anything like that, but it does make regular drip coffee and tea. And, you know, pretty fast. It's almost done. There we go. And you'll see the pour water in me light automatically comes on again. And if I don't turn it off, it will automatically turn off on its own after a certain number of minutes. So you don't waste electricity, and you just open it up and pop out your K-cup and throw it away. So the Tassimo T20 and the Keurig Mini are actually very similar in the way they work. One of the main differences being, of course, that the T20 has water reservoir that the Keurig doesn't have. The other difference being that the Tassimo also has, not sure, you see this in here? This little window here is a barcode reader, and it's designed to read the little barcode on the teacup. That's how the machine determines how much water to pull through the disc and the temperature and so on. Now you do have some flexibility. For instance, you can stop it brewing mid-brew if you want it stronger. You can also hold the brew button down to get it to brew more water through the tea disc and make a weaker brew if that's what you want. Okay, let's look at the Tassimo now. Now the Tassimo is a little bit different. You'll notice it has this high platform here. This is removable. It's designed so that you can put a tall cup. You can actually get a pretty tall travel mug in here, which I don't have on my hand right now, but you can get a nice tall cup in here, or you can use this and use a regular coffee cup or tea cup, or you can even move it up higher for a small demi-tasse cup. And that helps to reduce splatter, because I will tell you, if the gap between your cup and your spout is too great, this machine does splatter. It doesn't make a huge mess, but it does splatter some. I haven't noticed splatter as much with the Keurig, but the height is small. I mean, you really can't do more than a regular mug in here. I can't even get this glass mug in here, and this isn't a huge cup. So the mini Keurig definitely won't work if you like to use those big tall travel mugs or even extra large cups. It does work great with a standard mug or a regular coffee or tea cup like this. So today I thought I would show you how you make a latte with the Tassimo. And for that, I'm going to use this taller cup, so I'm going to take the platform out, and which means you're going to show that it will splatter. If there's a gap there, there will be some splatter. The reservoir is already pretty full, so I don't need to fill it. I just wanted to take it off of here a second to show you what it looks like. It has a handle here that you just pop open and fill it with water. And there's a maximum fill line. And I just fill it with filtered water. We have an under-the-counter filter for our drinking water, and that's what we use. Also in the back, you'll notice that there's a yellow disc. This is the cleaning disc. See, it's got a barcode on it. This is what you use in the machine if you need to descale it or clean it. And they do actually recommend that you clean the machine every time you do a milk drink or hot chocolate or anything like that in it. And I'll tell you from experience, it's a good idea, because the one time I didn't do it, the parts got stuck together and I ended up with a mess. So, also you can see, compare the cords. This is the Tassimo cord. It's a good bit longer than the Keurig cord, which gives you a little more flexibility in setting it up in your kitchen if you don't want to use an extension cord. First, we turn it on. The Tassimo has a flip switch. You see these lights here. There's a light that tells you when it needs to be descaled. There's a light that tells you when it needs more water. And the green lights up here, you'll see them in a minute when I brew it. One is to show you that it's actively brewing, and the other one is to show you that you can add more water through it to brew it longer. So, you open it up. It's very similar in that respect to the Keurig. There are no metal needles in the Tassimo. The things that poke through the tea disc are plastic, and you can see I'm rubbing it with my finger. It would be very hard to cut myself on this. So to do a latte, first you do the milk disc, and I'm using the one for latte macchiato, which is the one I happen to have. I'm going to pop that in there, and you just need to make sure that it's lined up with this little notch so that the barcode reader, which is right there, can read the barcode, which is on there. So we pop it in there, close it, and you'll notice that the milk disc does leak a little bit. The hot chocolate doesn't seem to do that, but every milk disc I have used does that, so you want to make sure that your cup is actually in place. And then you push the button, and you can hear it start to work, and it actually brews through pretty quickly. See, it's already coming. And you can see it splattering up in the cup. If it were closer, like this, it wouldn't splatter. So this is one area that I think Tassimo could improve their machine. It would be great if they could have, instead of a stationary piece that could be moved up and down, if it had like just continuous adjustments up and down, something that could be rolled up and down or something, would be great. Same for the Keurig, so you could use a lot higher cup with it. Of course, the bigger Keurig machines, the more expensive ones, do have a taller opening for a taller cup, so you can use bigger cups with them. And there's our latte. See, this is still blinking. It means it's not quite done yet. In just a second, it's going to switch over to here. And then if I wanted to put more water through, and there's really no point in doing that with the milk part because it would just be plain water. But see, I can hold this down and it would continue to brew through. So what we do, that's the first step. Second step, we take our milk disc out and we put in an espresso, or in this case, I'm going to use a crema disc because I happen to have this decaf crema that I just got and I want to try it out. And pop that in and close it, and it's already ready to brew again. And I chose a glass cup because I wanted to show you what the latte looks like because it's really cool. Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Just barely. Now obviously I won't be brewing this any longer, I would overflow my cup. But you notice the stripe effect? Of course, it's a little more obvious if you use an espresso. It's a little more diffuse with the crema, but and as it sits, these stripes will get a little more distinct too. So if you like fancy looking coffee drinks, the Tassimo would be your best choice. So the Tassimo can brew coffee, espresso, crema, hot chocolate, and tea. And the Keurig can also brew coffee, hot chocolate, and tea.